Hello and welcome. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. Today I thought, as I've only worked solely on one project this week and made some major action on it after watching the footage when I was editing, I was like, I know what I need to do, let's just do it. Anyway, I will talk about that project last, because what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to talk about this huge part of the side of me, which actually for me, I have to say, because I think I counted 10, unless I missed any. And yeah, 10 whips for me is pretty good going. Anyway, just get a sip of my brew. Oh, I've also, which I might just mention first, is, so last week, no, let's pause, take a breath. I'll take a sip of my brew. And start in a more calm way. So today's focus is going to be my current whips, and I want to talk about all that, which we'll get into in one moment. First of all, I want to say thank you very much to everyone who likes, subscribes and watches my videos every week, even though at the moment I don't necessarily have massive progress. I'm working more hours and I am doing a lot of, you know, summer stuff and getting all the household chores done. What I do keep forgetting to mention is that if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I have a podcast out pretty much every week. In between that, I do the odd extra video. At the moment, I don't get much time for that, but I do have some beginner knitter series if you haven't seen those, and I know that people have enjoyed them. So there's a beginner knitter tutorial on the channel for a basic in the round scarf. And the premise being with that is to help you learn how to knit in the round. But I do go, it is very beginner friendly. I do make it as clear as I possibly can, and I've heard that those videos have been very helpful. I show cast on, knits, purls, all that you need for knitting the scarf. Then we'll move on to the musselburgh hat in the next part of that series, and that is so that you can learn how to increase and decrease. And then the third and last part that I've been doing is the no frills sweater by Petite Knit. So if you haven't knit a sweater before and you would like someone to hold your hand through the whole process, I do that with the no frills. Now, at the moment, there's been a bit of a delay in the last video because I really haven't had time to knit that or the inclination to knit that second sleeve. We'll get round to it shortly, but with all the videos that are up on the channel, I know that anyone who is following along with me, they will be able to knit that sweater to the end. If you've got any questions or anything like that, then don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. I've connected with lots of you who have found those videos very useful, and yeah, I'm really pleased about that. If you would like to support the channel, I do have a wish list on Ravelry. Now, hopefully today I'm going to get time after I've finished filming. I'm going to go through all these whips. I'm going to decide what I want to work on next from the whip pile. So I've got a whip going, and I'm also going to, I think I need to have a look at my queue on Ravelry, and I need to decide what things I'm thinking I want to cast on next. I have got a wish list on Ravelry if you'd like to influence my next cast on. Quite a lot at the moment with the current list as it is. depends when I change it after, but I think at least 10 or 15 of the upcomings on my queue I have actually got yarn for. Shouldn't really admit that on YouTube, should I? But you know. And I've also got a Ko-fi account, so other than getting me a pattern from my wish list, if you would prefer to support the channel in a different way, you can always treat me to a coffee or a glass of wine, whichever, on Ko-fi. And I do actually enjoy quite often going to either Starbucks or there's a lovely cafe in my local town that has started opening in the evenings, and me and my partner like to go there for drinks. So yeah, sometimes. So yeah, that would be greatly appreciated, but obviously no obligation whatsoever. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm very intrigued to see if I remember what all these whips are. And all these lovely project bags that are in use, you'll get to have a look at those. But before I again start talking about that, because that's the main part of the video, apart from updating you on the active whip, is before I started filming, I realised that I haven't done my yarn ins and outs really for quite a while. But there hasn't been anything coming in, which is lovely, because I've got plenty of nice yarns in stash that I want to work through. So nothing in June, and so far nothing in July. I will have an order coming from Vanessa at my creative garage. She's dyed up a stunning purple and blue colour, which is me all over, as I've said several times, and I will pop a picture on the side so you can have a look at that. She's also producing some fantastic bags at the moment. Now, where's one of hers? You'll have seen this several times if you watch my podcast. It's my what I call my coffee shop bag. And yeah, her bags, fantastic quality. She always uses really nice, luxurious fabrics. They're always lined. They have lots of pockets, so you can use them for, if you just want to take one bag and not a handbag, you can take this with you, and it's got plenty of room for everything. This big bag here, if I didn't have this big sweater in, which is almost finished, which is my no frills, you can fit loads in there. If I can, in the editing stage, do the computing, I will pop up a whip counter, and we'll see if I'm right with my guess at 10, if I did my quick count was right. But getting distracted again by the beautiful project bag. Yeah, so nothing in June, and you know, last few months I've done really well. April, since going to East Anglia Yarn Festival, I haven't had any major purchases, so I literally bought 100 grams in April. In May it was 200 grams, June, and so far in July there's been nothing. So I don't think that's too bad when I get my order off Vanessa. So far I think I have, because I'm not just getting that one yarn, you know, it's coming from Australia, I have to make it worth it with the postage and everything. So I'm getting a new project bag off Vanessa, and I'm also getting a I'm getting the yarn, obviously, and there's a couple of yarns I'm getting so far, but we shall see what my order ends up being. Because I do tend to get tempted by quite a bit from Vanessa. And actually, to be fair, that Avenue tee, it's gone beautifully soft. You know, her yarns are lovely. And yeah, I've no knitwear on today because it is lovely and warm already. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, and for us it's like 18, I think, right now. It's going to get really hot this afternoon, and I'm working later, so I thought I'd just put this thin dress on, and hers tied back. So shall we get on? Oh no, I keep forgetting there's one other thing I want to say before I start on there. I don't know if you remember, but, or if you watched last week, let's see if I can grab them. So last week I told you that I looked through my mini skeins with you, and that was so that I could pick out some colours to do a fun striped Tolster tank or vest or square neck, whatever the name for it is. And again, I'll pop the picture up so you can see that. And I had picked out my colours. Now I've changed one of those colours. Now AJ had mentioned in the comments of that video that suggested changing the dark purple for the neon orange now to make it a more summery vibe. Now looking at them, I thought, yeah, that dark purple needs to change, but I'm not sure I'm quite brave enough for the neon orange, and it's not quite the vibe I was going for. So I've landed on this pale pink. I thought then I've got like four pinky purples, I've got a green, and I've got the two blues. So I'll hold them up because I'm not sure you'll be able to see them when they're on my knee. And I'll turn them this way. Hopefully I can grab them without them all falling. So these are the colours that I've landed on, and I think I'm really happy with that selection now. I have got 7 colours now. Looking again, I'm not sure if that other one had 8, but I'm happy with those colours. I just need to check that I'm going to have enough meterage. Oh, and one's just rolling away under the camera as it always. I'm just going to chuck them on the floor here. Just makes it easier. I'll tie that up after. Okay, so as I was talking about this one and my creative garage bag, I will just show you what's in here. So this is whip number 1, and this is my no frills sweater, which is so close to being finished. I haven't picked up yet for the second sleeve, but I've kept my needles in here already. And I've got plenty of yarn left because I've got almost 200 grams of the DK weight left. I've kept all the needles in there that I need, the one for the ribbing and the one for the sleeve, just to make it easier. So it won't take me long to knit this up. And I think, you know what? I really like the feel of this yarn. I think it's going to be wonderful. I'm hoping that it looks good. Again, it looks good. It feels good against skin. Obviously, I want it to look good as well. Not sewn in my end. Just hope it's not prickly. But if it is, I'm sure that it'll soften up after a couple of washes. Yeah, I've kept all my markers in my sleeve for this top. The way that I like to do it with my sleeves is I put a light bulb stitch marker on the first decrease that I do on or the last of every row that I'm doing decreases on. And then when I start my next sleeve, all I do then is keep transferring them across to the other sleeve, so I know it's the same length. I'm happy with how it was fitting me when I last tried it on. Be very interesting to see how it relaxes. I am looking for a more cozy, oversized sort of, not necessarily oversized, but you know, cozy, warm sweater vibes. This should really be high priority because it will be easy to get that finished. But yes, like I say, I'm not getting masses of knitting time at the moment, and I have just been focusing on the one project. And I'm very much in the mood for doing summer knits, not sweaters. Actually, I've just realised that one thing in this pile, although it's in a project bag and it's ready to be started, is just yarn that's caked up, but I will show you that. So let's just go to the next one in the pile. Now this is a bag that I got at East Anglia Yarn Festival, and it's from the Woolly Tangle. The fabric just stood out to me. I absolutely loved it. It's a perfect little sock project bag. And this is a pair of vanilla socks from Summer Lee. I'm using her recipe. I have her book. I've done a contrasting toe and cuff. I was going to do a contrasting heel, but I forgot to swap that, and I'm not too bothered about it. I was just going for, let's just do a vanilla sock and try and get this fit good on me. Now, I've made quite a lot of progress on this. I'm not too far because I've done my heel flap and everything. So yeah, I've not got too far to go. This is a Giddy Yarns sock colourway, and it was from her Matilda collection, and it's called Miss Honey. And when I saw these colours, I just thought I absolutely loved them, and I wanted to make a pair of socks from them. And I really like the colour of the mini as well. I'll just show you them if I can get them out. There you go. Lovely, lovely colours. I have kind of forgotten what I was doing on these, but I think what I was doing is in my endeavour to get the perfect sock fit, I decided that when I get to the heel, I was changing my needle size. Let me just have a look what I've got on here, because I've kept the needles in here so I know. I don't think I've even put this on Ravelry. Yeah, I'm on a 2.5 at the moment, and I've started the heel flap. The cuff and the leg was done in 2.25. Now, I have used these little minis, but I can't get on with the ChowGoo minis. I just find the cord's too thin. If you get the ChowGoo fixed 9-inch circulars, the cord is much, much thicker. And I'll show you here. And I find it much easier to work with. Whereas in the minis, it's much smaller like this. But it was all I had available. So I think over time I will get a few more of the 9-inch circulars that are fixed, because I think that the blue set of ChowGoo interchangeable needles starts at a 3.5, and the cables in them are great. They're the same as the normal ChowGoo set. But I just don't really get on with them cables. I can use them, but they're not my favourite. So there we go. That was a pair of socks, or 3/4 of a pair of socks, or 2/3, and that is whip number 2. And the next one, oh yes, another sock. Now this isn't even as far along, and I'm sure I started this before. This is in my Lavallee Tea Cake and Makes bag. This is my absolute all-time favourite, without a question of a doubt, bag for socks. And actually I have done small garments in here as well. I use this bag on rotation. I just find it super handy. It's thin, lightweight, pulls together easily with the drawstrings, and I can chuck it in my handbag, so I can take it out and about. Now, these socks I was so excited to do when I first cast them on, but I'm not sure why I didn't carry on with them. Seems very silly. I know the yarn management was a bit tricky, because I carried my yarn up, I think, and yeah. This is another pattern by Summerlee, a pattern that I really like. And I can't remember, you know, it's so long since I've knit on these. I don't know any of the details, but I'm sure I probably will have written it on the pattern. But I'm using a John Arbon sock yarn. It's Exmoor Sock 4-ply, and that is, you get these in 50 grams, and I had 2 of them, and you get 200 meters. It's 60% Exmoor Blueface, 20% Corriedale, 10%, is it Swarbles? Oh, no idea. And 10% nylon, super wash. And it's a really lovely grey colour. She'd done a version of these with a neon orange, like the orange that I was looking at and possibly using for that top. But I just thought the neon purple was more my vibe. That looks suspiciously as well from looking at there. like I have knitted my stitch marker in, which is just great, isn't it? Anyways, I can sort that out later. It's only a row down. And that is whip number 3. I don't know why I've not finished them, because, well, especially that first pair of socks, that would be so easy to finish, wouldn't it? And then this is a bag that I got at the Woolly Good Gathering. My mum had given me some money, and I think I got this with her money, if I remember rightly. And it's so yarn delicious. Just as soon as I saw it, I was like, I love that fabric. And it's perfect. It's got a little popper on the top. It's got the handle on the side. Again, it's another one you could easily chuck in your handbag, but it's definitely only big enough for socks. It's much smaller. I don't know if you can really tell, but if I open this bag up, it does appear, yeah, look, it's, you know, quite a bit smaller than the Tea Cake and Makes one. I just thought it was really cute. And this is a very old pair of socks. And this is from, have I got, oh, I have cast the second sock on. I'm quite shocked. It's on the needles. I've only got the ribbing. I think this was when I was trying to do colourwork socks, and I really fell out of love of doing colourwork socks because I was finding it very, very difficult to get a good fit. Since then, I've probably thought, and I can't remember what I was doing at the time, but I could actually do a needle size change for the colourwork to improve that. But these are the August colourwork cuff club socks from Summerlee. And as soon as I saw this pattern, I absolutely loved it. Can't wait to block these and see how they turn out. It would be, so there's the potential of 3 pairs of socks. If I did, it wouldn't take me too long to finish them, I don't think. And I'd have 3 more pairs of socks from my box of socks, because we're fast approaching the time to get them out. And I think I've only currently got 2 pairs in there. Now, the colourways that I am using is a yarn from Lizzie Bird Yarns, which I got off Etsy. It's typical sock, 75% wool, 25% nylon. 100 grams is 425 metres, and it's Victoriana. It's a colourway, and I think it was a Christmas one, in fact. But it's lovely berry colours, and I really think they're going to be a pretty pair of socks. I think it's just frustrating when you're knitting and you're not getting the, you know, figuring out how to get them to fit, because with colour work, what I find hard is getting them over my heel, and then the rest of the sock not being absolutely ginormous and too big for my feet. So that was whip number 4. And number 5, this is another My Creative Garage bag. This is a medium-sized one. Again, still a really fun fabric, which is what I love. Again, the same quality, thickness. Oh, and I forgot about this. In here is this lovely autumnal yarn. And this is one that I got from the Woolly Good Gathering. And I don't think my ball band is in there. Nope, and it's nowhere to be seen, which is very frustrating. Not in any of the pockets, is it? No. I do know who it was from. It was For the Love of Yarn, and I think it was some sort of camel blend. Now with this, all I'm doing is I'm making a scarf. It's a gift for my... You know, if I get some of these finished, I'm sure I'd have hundreds of needles back in my needle case. Yeah, it's in some sort of yarn tangle, which is fabulous. This is going to be a lovely, lovely scarf for my partner. This is a beautifully soft. I think it's camel, if I remember rightly, or yak. It's one of those blends. But yeah. And actually, the way it's knitting up in this circumference, I think it's going to look lovely when it's wrapped around. And it's super soft against skin. I might actually be tempted to get some of this yarn for myself to knit up one, but it's taking me a long time to do. This would actually be a great project for me to do while editing, just to make a little bit of progress, but it's slow going, very slow going. So that's 1, 2, 3, that's 5 we've got through so far. Should we do this one next? This is a very old whip, and it's not going to be frogged. There's no way I'm frogging it. I've got all the yarn, I've got the pattern. It's a bag full of yarn here, and I will have leftovers from this. I was doing really well when this first... Now, I hope you can see, I'll sit right back. This is the Adventitious, I think that's how you say it, or something along those lines, and it is a Mosaic Blanket is what she called it, which means it's a shawl stroke a blanket. Now, she had it draped over her neck in this sort of fashion, and I mean, this is dream yarn. I will read you one of the labels if I can find one. Yeah, so this is another one of the colorways, not yet been... I bought all the colorways. It's probably going to be the most expensive blanket I've ever knit in my life, but or ever will knit. It's the Expression Fibre Arts. Look at the drape. It is super soft, super cozy. It's going to be absolutely fabulous once it's finished, and it is 70% superwash merino, 10% baby camel, 10% cashmere and 10% silk, and it feels absolutely stunning. I can't explain to you how good it actually feels. I started this when I was quite early back into my knitting journey, and I'm very, very proud of, I know it's a bit crinkly now, so you can't really tell, really proud with how well I've done this. Mosaic knitting in itself isn't difficult, but every row I have to concentrate on. When I get back into doing it, I do normally end up, I find it quite moreish and get quite a few sections done, but picking it up and getting started is the hard part of it. What I might actually challenge myself to do is, because I love doing my blanket knitting in December, and this year I've decided not to get an advent, and I have so far stuck to that, and I've not bought anything. I thought I would let myself have a Christmas Eve box, but I've not even done that at this stage, so feeling pretty proud of myself for that. I've still got advents in stash, so if I wanted to do an advent knit I could use those to start something. But in December I like to knit on my blankets, so I have my other blanket which I'm going to show you in a minute, and I might actually get some of this done then, because you know what, it would be absolutely lovely to have this finished. It's been on the needles for a long time. This was actually a mystery knit, and what happened was I was knitting away on it most months, and I think have I done July? I think I've definitely done June, so I've done half of it probably, or maybe I've got to May, I don't know. I'm near half anyway, and the first few sections I kept up with it quite well. I've made the odd mistake, but I'm still happy with it. I'm really proud of myself for knitting this, or what I've knitted it so far. And it got to a point where I got behind, and then it got put to the side, and then I saw a spoiler of the finished thing. And as soon as I saw that, the enormity of the tasks that lay ahead of me kind of put me off getting back on with it. So I think if I picked this up now, I would absolutely love knitting on it. It's not actually got too many stitches, because I don't know if you can see, but it's not massively long rows, considering, you know, it is a blanket, schlanket, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure it's something that I would want to be wearing out and about, but I think that it would be absolutely cozy to throw on me round the house. And yeah, it would be nice to work on that again. Be interesting. This is in my Woolly Good gathering bag, And it's got my little pin on that I got at the Woolly Good Gathering. Really enjoyed that show. It was great. I didn't go last year, it was the year before. It was the first time they did it. And as we're talking about blankets, I will now show you my Purl Soho, I can't remember the name of it now, which is very strange. Now in the bottom of here I've got all sorts of scrap yarns and bits for me to add into here. I've got a bucket of bits there. I've got plenty to get this finished. Now as you can see, this is a heck of a lot wider and longer rows than again, I've made a few mistakes on this, but I'm not really too bothered. I love that I've gone very random, very bright with the colours. I'm really enjoying that. It's got a lovely vibe to it. I put some in at the beginning from a scrap advent that advent swap I did a couple of years ago. And yeah, I just find it such a joy. This is my December knit, and yeah, it's not growing very fast. I haven't done any for a while. I did want to do that. I would like to get through, and this is going to be a lovely warm blanket, mostly sock yarn scraps in here, but I'm putting anything and everything into it to use up as much of the lovely yarn that I've got as possible. I love putting the neon pops in. They really make me smile when I look at it, and it's such a joyful blanket with all these colour combinations, and it's just going to be one, again, a house blanket. And I'm not in any rush to get it finished, but I would like to be making progress on it, so I need to have a think about that really, because mainly I'll knit on it in December, but I'm only doing 1 or 2 stripes, so you know, even if I do it for the whole of December, that's what, 30 days? No, sorry, 31 days. And so one colour is 2 stripes. So if I do 2 stripes, if I do a stripe a day, 2 rows, I'm only going to be doing 31 colours or 62 rows. And it's not really going to grow very fast, is it, just doing that? So I do think I do need to do some more knitting on it in between, but I'm not sure when that's going to be. I think I need to come up with a plan for this blanket and a mosaic, maybe once a week, just do a few rows on each, not put too much pressure on it, but then I can make some progress. And as this is my Christmas project, I have kept these lovely Christmas tree stitch needle stoppers on there. So I've lost count now of where we're up to with all these whips. We've only got 3 more whips to go through. Oh, did I tell you about the bag for this one? Now this bag is a really unusual style, if you can see. It's got a crocheted bottom, and it's got a fabric sewn here, and this is a bag by the Cocoon Tree. They're on Etsy, and it is Amy Palco's sister who makes these bags, and then her sister's daughter crochets these bottoms. And yeah, as soon as I saw this, I went to the stall. I knew it was at I think it might have been the first time I went to Yarndale, and I knew I wanted to go to this stall, and Amy Palco was there, and it was lovely to meet her, and I met her sister and her sister's daughter, and I saw this on the stall. Now I ended up buying a small little sock bag, which was beautiful, and I still have, but I saw this, and when I got home I regretted not buying it. So I went on Etsy and I ordered one. It's just the dragonflies, and I just thought it was really, really pretty. Oh, this one. So this project bag is from another favourite of mine, which is, oh, what is she called? I should know her name. I've bought loads of her bags. Oh, Willow Bay from this one. I'm wondering why there's no label on this one, actually. Bit strange. Yes, these bags are by Willow Bay. This is a lovely medium-sized project bag, And in here, I've got this absolutely gorgeous colourwork mitten that I was so proud that I'd knitted. After watching what Florence does with her wonderful mittens, and she makes lots of modifications to them to make them fit her hands, because she says she has larger hands. And I decided to cast on this beautiful pattern, and as you can see, it's still not got a thumb. And it's really frustrating because I'm sure it won't be that hard to knit, but I've got it in my head that I'm going to find it very, very difficult. I don't use DPNs, so I think that's something that's putting me off. But imagine how nice these will be. And with me doing my morning walking at the moment, and hopefully continuing that on into the winter, it will be good to do that. And this is a Bird Street Yarns DK weight mitten mix, and you get 250-gram skeins that are twisted together, and yeah, DK weight. So what is the, oh yeah, it's 75-25 merino nylon. And I just think if I finish those, I'll get a lot of use out of them when we're on those morning walks come the winter. And then my last project that is in hibernation at the moment is in this Willow Bay bag, which again, an absolute favourite of mine. Love her bags. And this is the Daft cardigan. Again, it's a massive bag. It's got loads of yarn in there because I've got all the minis, because this is my advent from a couple of years ago from For the Love of Yarn. And I'm making the Daft cardigan by Rebecca Clow. And yes, I had some problems with this. What ended up happening was I knit the full first sleeve, and I think I just didn't do the cuff. I tried it on, it was way too tight. So I have picked up again, ripped it out, picked up again, and started doing the sleeve. I put it off for absolutely ages because I thought that I wouldn't have enough yarn, or I think I probably will be playing yarn chicken, but I've managed to do it so far. Let's see when I get to the end of one sleeve. I've got a lovely progress keeper on here from Chapel View, which is a slice of chocolate cake. Yeah, so not much left to do on this really. I've got the rest of this sleeve to do. I've got the other sleeve to do, and then I have got the button band to do. Now I'm not sure what to do with the button band, because after doing my Midland cardigan and doing that double knit button band, I'm not sure if I should do a double knit on this, because it wasn't that hard to do, and it's a bit, adds a bit more strength, doesn't it, to the front of the cardigan. What do we think? Should I do that, or should I just do the ribbed banding like it suggests? I suppose the ribbing does actually suit this cardigan, but you can feel the thickness of this ribbing compared to what a double knit would be like, which would add a bit more structure. I don't know. And the thing is, the problem is with these whips, the ones that you leave, well, I leave, sometimes I forget what I've done, and then it takes some time to get back into the pattern. Now this Daft Days pattern is very easy to knit. It's not hard at all. I just need to, again, it's something to crack on with. So really I haven't got that many garments. So I've got my 2 blankets, 3 socks, the mittens. Most of them are little projects, aren't they? They're not like, there's not lots of, I've just got the sweater and the cardigan really, which are bigger projects. Oh yeah, and before I do anything else, I will just show you this lovely. This bag is not actually a project bag. It's a bag that I bought in off a lady who makes them in Ambleside. There's a hotel we like to go and stay at, which is right on the river's Windermere edge. And we stay there on a semi-regular basis. And when we do, there's a coffee shop we go to there. And the coffee shop person who runs it, the man, his wife makes these lovely bags. She makes like pencil cases. I'll show you if I can reach it. So this is my notions pouch that I have next to my chair where I knit, and this is one of her bags as well, and have got a few other. She uses quite a lot of vintage style fabrics that I like, very much florals. And this, if you can see on camera, is actually a velvet fabric. It's beautiful. It's lovely and thick and padded. And that's the inside liner. And in here, there's not a project, but I thought I'd just show you this as it is in my basket down there. And this is the yarn that I am hoping to use for my next eclipse. And I want to use... I want to knit an eclipse top, which is the striped V-neck by Jose Paquin. Not a V-neck, square neck. It's a raglan top-down construction, and I want to do it for the beginner knitting series, the next one that I'm doing. I thought a summer top would be great. And now I've done, this will be my third version of this top. My first version I made with a sock yarn from Dystopic Fibres in Toadstool, which is a lovely red colour, and a cotton merino blend from Knitting for Olive, and I absolutely loved that top. Easy to knit, very engaging, and I wear it all the time. So I decided to knit a second version, and I used a Botanical Yarns, it was this one actually, I can show you. So I used this yarn, and I also used a purple yarn, and then and I knit that one, but I was playing a bit of yarn chicken because the purple yarn that I was using was, I think Chicago Love was the brand name. It only had, I think, 360 odd meters in it rather than the 400 that most sock yarns have. So yeah, I couldn't quite get as many stripes in the sleeves, and I do like them with a couple more stripes like my red one. But anyways, because I've done that in a few different combinations and both have really worked nicely, and I wear them both, I thought I would try this yarn. So this yarn was from the Woolly Tangle, and I got it at East Anglia, and it is a lace weight yarn, so I'll have to hold that together. And it's 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. Absolutely lovely. And I managed to get those two skeins from her bargain bucket, and it was while Mona was talking to her at the till, and I was rooting through and found those two, and they were just my colour. And then I'm also using this skein, which is an old one in my stash. This is, again though, I'm just looking at this. This won't be my main colour, which is good, because this is 365 metres, I've just noticed. Colourway is Jellyfish, and I got this from what's it called? Northern Yarns in Lancaster. So yeah, before the 365 metre was the main colour. This time it will be the contrast, so I think I'll be all right with that. I don't know when I'm likely to cast this on. Maybe I should do that 1st of August, not sure. Have a think about it, but it is on the horizon. Got some stitch videos I want to do as well, but yeah, I've not got around to that either. And so the last project that I want to talk to you about is my current active whip. It's the only thing I've worked on this week in my Tea Cake and Makes bag that I got from East Anglia Yarn Festival. And I'll just remind you of the yarn. It's this one that I bought in Rome. And that is a linen cotton blend. And this is the progress at the moment. Now, it may not look massively different from last time, but that's because if you remember last time, I told you that there was a mistake on the front here where the ribbing for some reason had gone misaligned. And when I was watching on the editing, especially because of where it was. I'm not even sure how I managed to do that, to be honest, but where it was really noticeable. Also, the armhole depth, it fit me and it sat just under my arm nicely, but I felt that it was a little bit tighter than I would like, and I was worried it was going to bother me. So what I did, and I actually started doing it while editing, I ripped it all back. And I ripped it right back to where I'd made the error. Fixed the error. And then I added 2 more rows to the length of the 2 front pieces and the back piece. I know 2 rows isn't a lot, but I just thought it might just be enough. And also I am hoping that because this is a cotton, it will stretch out a little bit over time, and I still want to be able to cover my bra strap. So yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about today. So it was nice to go through all those whips. Not sure what I'm going to work on next. I seem to have quite a lot of socks that could do with finishing. So over the next few days, I'm going to have a little bit of a think about what I want to do, really. I really could do with getting that no frills finished and off the needles. But yeah, there's so many socks that I've not finished. Crazy. Maybe the Miss Honey ones are going to probably be the next ones to be finished because they were the most recent I was working on. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Not much life stuff to tell you about. You know, just getting through the weeks and they're going by fast. We're set for a heat wave, but there's no sunshine. It's so annoying. If it is hot, I do like to have the sun out and be sat in the garden, but it's very, very dull, cloudy and overcast. But maybe that will change in the next few days because I think Friday and Saturday are supposed to be the hottest where I live in the UK. Have I got anything else to tell you? I don't think so. Reading, I'm still reading the same book. I think it's called The Siren. And yeah, that's all that I wanted to talk about today. So I will say goodbye and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.